to give somebody that kind of feeling, and then once again using this as an outlet to like travel, see the world, meet new people, and just kind of like spread a message of like, we're trying to do something different, and like, you know, it's nothing like the mainstream or whatever, so we're trying to just like spread that message around too, and just like do what you love, you know, because you never know what can happen with it.
Hey, this is Steven from SAAS.
What's up? I'm Albert from SAAS. We're also missing a member, Sean, but yeah, we're SAAS.
I think we met, when was that, like 2011?
Yeah,
10?
something like that.
And then how we decided to start SAAS, I'd been working with music for a while and kind of just producing on my own. And our member who isn't here right now, Sean, he was also doing his stuff on his own, and we came together. And Albert here, he was rapping, right?
Yeah.
Doing a lot of rap and other production. So you're making beats, right?
Yeah, I was starting to make beats. Well, I started making beats a long time ago, but it was like Fruity Loops, and it was just really like kind of whack stuff. And then when he started making productions, I was still rapping, so I started rapping on his beats and his like music. And after watching him, I decided to just start. You know, I downloaded Ableton and just started my own.
Yeah, we all came together and just decided like, oh, we're all doing this. It would be fun to just kind of combine ideas and you know, stuff like that. And that's basically how we became a group.
So the SAAS name came about because there was 4 members originally, and we used to go by the name Planet X, and I kind of liked it. I think we were kind of messing with it, but it just was kind of simple.
It had references to other things before.
So our buddy Sean, who's not here right now, said that we should use our initials. It ended up being SAAS, S-A-A-S, and we just liked the way it looked and everything. The other member kind of just fell off. There was really no like bad terms or anything, but we decided to keep the name anyways because it just looked cool, sounds cool. So. And it's
right,
unique.
and we didn't want to start over again.
And I think it's unique too.
Yeah. But my family's always kind of been a musical family. We've always had music in the background, everything we do. I think that I subconsciously picked up on that. And I was always into like metal, death metal, stuff like that in high school. And it was always about like, you know, like hard stuff, guitar work and crazy stuff like that. And then I went to kind of like my first couple festivals, really opened my eyes. I just went in as a fan, I didn't know anybody, just kind of open-mindedness, went and did it, and through that got a couple of artists. I was like, this is really cool, really different. And then I kind of just made that transition to like metal music to electronic music. And some of the inspirations there was like early on was like Flying Lotus, Tonight, even an artist like James Blake, I found at Coachella. It was awesome. So, and that's just for me. What about you?
I've been in music since, I was like 12, probably like my friends playing guitar. Growing up watching them play guitar, so I'd asked for a guitar for Christmas, got an electric guitar, started playing that for years. Then my dad actually got me into rap music, so it was kind of funny. I would combine the two, playing guitar while rapping at like school and stuff. And then I decided to start making my own beats at the time, and that was when I was doing the Fruity Loop stuff. And then it wasn't until like we combined and started doing SAAS that I started to like realize that I like trap music and stuff like that. So started trying to make more stuff like that, but when you're first getting started, like it's just beats, noises that come out of it. But my influences, like once I started to like I guess like go towards the sound, it was like What's So Not, Flume, G Jones was another good one. Yeah, something was a huge one. Still is, like I still like him a lot. And then a lot of like rap too kind of influences my stuff. So I like to do it where like even now some songs we put out, we're gonna play some here too where I've actually rapped on the beats that we're gonna put out too. So still just kind of a lot of things. I'm into everything. I still listen to house. I actually produce house on the side and stuff, and I still do like other things like that. So just kind of everything. I'm into everything. So.
How would we describe our music? It's a little tough for us sometimes. I feel like we have a lot of, with 3 people especially, we take in all our inspirations and kind of mix them together. So I'd say, we get labeled a lot as trap. I don't feel like we're really close to traditional trap, but there are aspects as far as the build-ups and surprise drops, stuff like that. We have a little bit of dubstep in there, a lot of like new style wook type of bass in there. So yeah, I mean, it's kind of like experimental, like alternative trap, if you want to label it.
They call it left field bass, is like the term, is the name, it's like that's how you'd find it on like SoundCloud or something. But yeah, I say it's exactly what it is. It's experimental because we definitely always try to experiment with like newer sounds and trying to like evolve our sound even before we start putting stuff out, So with working with 3 people, the creative process, we used to hang out a lot more in one house, so it was a lot easier to just like, when someone was like kind of bored of what they were doing, I would just hop on and then work for like 30 minutes and then he would hop on. But now we're all in separate houses, so technically it's just like I start something and we upload it to Splice. Luckily, like nowadays you can just like grab everything offline and like work separately like that. So like one day I'll start a track, I'll add them to it, tell them that I added them to it, and then like the next day or the next few days I open it up and it's just like a lot more done to it. And since we're all kind of on that same vibe and stuff, it kind of like works out really good. Sometimes it doesn't, but I think by the end of the track, as we start talking about it, it ends up, we fix what kind of didn't work out or whatever, or if we wanted to go back, luckily Splice saves that. So the process is pretty easy. We've never had any troubles or.
Yeah, it's basically just whoever has an idea, if you want to throw down that idea in Ableton, just go for it. And it doesn't matter if we're almost done with it, one track or in the middle of another. The creative process, you always want to just lay it down if you have it. Yep. So we always have a lot of tracks in our backlog. Some we have like we don't get back to for another year. It just kind of whatever. It's kind of like whatever feeling you have for the track. If you feel something on it, just work on it. And if it's a track that everybody's feeling, usually we'll try to push those ones out way quicker.
Best advice I've ever been given.
We can go with that.
Yeah, I can go with that. Which is someone said to focus outwards. Don't focus on your state. Like try to get everything out. Don't because a lot of times your promoters in your state will try to like use you and not pay you and get you to like go to the show just so your show can be popping or whatever. But like out of state people care about you a lot more and like trying to grow your fan base like outside. So that's been the best advice I've gotten so far.
If I had to give any advice, I would just say kind of do what you think is right. Don't really, because one guy's doing something, don't just change your whole game up to try to copy that. If you find inspiration from somebody and want to kind of work in maybe some of those aspects, totally cool. But I would always stay true to your core, what brought you there first, and just kind of grow off of that. Collabing is something we've kind of had a hard time getting some collabs to get off the ground. Sometimes we start them and they don't really go anywhere. But the ones we have put out, we've been very happy with. Dream collab. There's a lot of rappers I'd love to work with. There's also a lot of producers. G Jones would be. It doesn't even seem like a realistic like that would ever happen. But I mean that would be a dream collab right there. Liquid Stranger would be another one. Some rappers. It's hard to think of people just off the top of your head, but I mean, there's a rapper from SoundCloud I really like named Kameyata. That would be cool, and that's something that could be definitely doable, I think. But as far as like higher up, like obviously like ASAP Ferg, would be awesome too.
For me, for producers, it'd probably be I'd want to do What's So Not because he's what got me into like really that electronic music scene. Something would be cool, and then smaller artists would be like Milana. I think he'd be pretty dope. But a lot of rappers too. I mean, I can't think of any on the top of my head, but yeah, I would definitely want to collab with some rappers too.
As far as the music goes, I feel like that creative process that we have is going 24/7 all the time. So I feel like on our end, as producing music, I feel like we're doing what we should be doing. But we want to grow that audience, have, you know, real interactions with people and stuff like that. I feel like that's what we're really lacking on, is just involvement with the community, the immediate community and the overall community. I think what we're looking to do next is just do a lot more shows, just a lot more collaborations, I would say.
Maybe an album too. Maybe.
Yeah.
EP or an album is probably next too for us as well. Because what we do currently is we're saving all of our like originals for labels and stuff. We're just kind of holding on to them and playing them out. Releasing remixes once a month on our page, and then probably trying to work on like an EP or an album or something like that. So.
For me personally, I always wanted to play big shows, right? Big festival shows. That's kind of what I started out seeing. I didn't go to a lot of club shows at the beginning. I want SAAS to be on, you know, at least, it doesn't have to be on a global scale, but at least the United States or North America, just to be able to travel and do those festival shows consistently, and just being in the middle, you know, just being in with everybody else, I think I'd be satisfied with that. Just being known as, hey, see those guys over there, you know, if we don't like a set over here, I know those guys will throw down, something like that, just everywhere we go. You know, for me, money's always been a second thing to the art and to the travel and experience, and that's really what I'm looking for out of SAAS, is just being able to gain all those things.
For me, it would probably be like giving the feeling that I get when I'm at a show, you know, like watching a big artist and being like super excited. Like I remember one time running from the entrance to the inside of to go see What's So Not. And it was a similar set to one I saw like a week ago in Arizona, but it didn't matter to me because at the time I was like in love with that guy, you know. So to give somebody that kind of feeling, and then once again using this as an outlet to like travel, see the world, meet new people, and just kind of like spread a message of like, we're trying to do something different, and like, you know, it's nothing like the mainstream or whatever. So we're trying to just like spread that message around too, and just like do what you love, you know, because you never know what can happen with it.
Yeah, kind of just following your own path. I think that's very important for us,
and that's the way it was too. We kind of started with like just putting stuff down, and it was always just what we wanted to do, and you know, this is what it's come out of so far. So.